Good morning. This topic's just been on my mind, this question. Am I going to keep working, still have a job, focus on my career now that I'm a wife? Tim and I have been talking about our roles as husband and wife, our roles as mom and dad, as parents, what we want our life to look like. We've been talking about that since we met. The general summarization from Tim's perspective, his thought process is, Alana, if you want to keep doing YouTube exactly how you are now, and that's going to make you happy, I want you to do that. If you want to start expanding more, maybe start a podcast for yourself, post 3 times a week, then go for it. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, like you could use a hand, you have a free videographer, editor at your service. If you want to scale back and do YouTube part-time, or if you want to stop completely and focus on other things that you feel are necessary to get more invested in, then do that. Sometimes I just can't believe that I have that freedom to choose. It's hard to find someone who actually looks at the role of a wife and a mom and has respect for that role and is impressed by someone who has that goal for themselves. It was so refreshing when I met Tim that he actually respected his mom and talked very highly of his mom. He also wasn't intimidated by me, which is something that I didn't love to feel and be told when I was dating. I know you guys weren't really there because I wasn't really filming a lot when I was dating, but I think there were 3 people that I talked to and went on a few dates with. They didn't value women. There was one guy I dated, the lawyer. He asked me what I did for a living, and he's like, I'm glad that everything you have is, self-made. It's from you, that you didn't need a man, or it's not daddy's money or something. I would never even talk to a woman who wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I was like, okay. He viewed women who stayed home as lazy and ungrateful. I would never want to put myself in a position where I was married to someone like that, so that didn't work out. He wasn't the only one. There was someone I dated, and he straight up said to me, "You were intimidating to me." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, you have this big house that you take care of all by yourself, and you got it when you were so young, and you have this career, and I don't have these things." And I was just like, we're 2 human beings, we're 2 people. You lived this life, and you are where you need to be. All I did was make YouTube videos, and I saved my money and bought a house. It doesn't make me better than you just because I have something quicker than you. It was something that a lot of guys struggled with that I talked to. There was someone else too who was in real estate, and we went on a few dates. He was like, yeah, I was engaged before, and she gained some weight. I was like, how much weight did she gain? He was like, maybe 10 pounds. And I was like, you broke off an engagement because your fiance gained 10 pounds? No. He asked me, if we were to ever get serious, would you sell your house? And I was like, I have been thinking about selling my house before I knew you existed, but why do you ask? He was like, well, I would feel uncomfortable living in my girlfriend's house and eventually my wife's house. He also was one of the ones who was like, no matter who I end up with, she better be cooking and cleaning for me. And I was like, but what if you guys are both working? And he was like, yeah, she better be cooking and cleaning for me. If you guys are both working, why would you not divide the chores then? First of all, it's not about what can the person do for me, it's about serving each other. I mean, that's what our book is about that we're reading. It's called Sacred Marriage. It's what if the point of marriage is holiness, not happiness. So anyways, he wanted a wife who he only was going to value if she cooked and cleaned for him, even if she had a job and worked the exact same hours as he did. It's not coming from a place of respect if you're saying she better cook and clean for me. And yeah, so there were a lot of people that I talked to who, if we were texting, I would send a picture of me on my porch, or if I was walking the dogs around the house, I would take a little video, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's your house? That's crazy. And I just started to feel okay, I don't want to date someone who is so blown away by me because I want to feel like an equal. I don't want to feel like they're just looking up to me, but I also don't want someone who, in the opposite direction, instead of like idolizing me, is looking at the role of a wife and a mom and a woman and saying like, you better make me a sandwich. Yeah, I'm never gonna even date someone who would want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, ew, gross. So meeting Tim was so refreshing because he was so impressed by what I've built for myself, but not in a way where he was like fangirling or intimidated. And he also has an amazing mother and respects his mother a lot. And he sees so much value in the role of a wife and a mom. It's really like the perfect balance. He's made it very clear, like I said, if I want to go full speed ahead and do YouTube, then he's supporting me, he's behind me, and he will help me if I ask for help. And if I don't want to do YouTube, he's not going to be like, oh, she's giving up her career, or oh, she just wants to like live off of me and be lazy and be a stay-at-home mom or be a wife or whatever. Like, he respects and is impressed by either role, either direction. And that is incredibly rare, in my experience at least. I'm so glad that I waited. Now I have this choice. And when I knew that I had this choice in the beginning, like when Tim and I first met, my idea was, wow, I have met someone who loves to do things that are part of my job that I don't really enjoy doing. I don't know if you guys have like noticed this, but over the years, I haven't really been a vlogger. I really feel like it takes me out of the moment, but I think that vlog content's really entertaining. Like, I like to watch vlogs, so I've always wanted to find a way to enjoy vlogging, but not have to be the one who is recording everything, thinking about the shot. Like, I would just like to be filmed. So Tim and I are in love. It's like, okay, what do I want to do with YouTube? I know at this point that Tim feels better with a camera in his hand because it's his passion. He loves filming. He loves capturing beautiful moments with family and friends. So I'm like, why not harness that and like have him do something that makes him really happy and take something off my plate that doesn't really make me happy? And I thought, we have so much coming up that we want to do and so much planned. Why don't I ask him to film it? There have been so many things in my life that I've done that I didn't film because I just don't like vlogging. I like sitting down and talking, and I'm like, oh, if I only had a videographer, if I only had someone filming me. And I also like certain parts of editing, but other parts I don't like, and he likes the parts that I don't like, and I like the parts that he doesn't like, so it fits really good together. So I tried the vlogging thing. I'm like, okay, is vlogging really what I want to do? Is it really what is fulfilling for me? And I was thinking about the other reason why I haven't really vlogged while I've had this channel over the past, 5-6 years? And it's because my heart has never really been in showing pretty things. And I think a lot of vlogging is like showing house stuff, showing clothes stuff, showing the things that you do on vacation or your life. It's like it glamorizes people's lives. Let's go get coffee, let's do this. Like, it makes me feel funny. And I've talked about this. I feel like only the people who really know my channel and me and have like really watched every single video would know this, but like in the middle of a video about a cosmetic procedure or a haul or something, I would have a really vulnerable, honest moment where I was like, this is so dumb. Like, none of this actually matters. Why am I talking about this? This is not what I want to talk about. And I was a slave to money. That was always my God. I'm so happy that I broke free from that, like way before I actually started having a relationship with God. That stopped being a problem, and therapy helped me with that. I felt like, okay, people want to see hauls, people want to see cosmetic procedures, because I would go to my analytics and those were the videos that did really well. If I filmed a video about something important, it wouldn't perform well. And I'm like, okay, well, this is my job. First and foremost, this is my job. Whether I get connecting with people out of it, whether I help people, inspire people from doing this job, that's another thing. But like, first and foremost, this is my job. So I was going to do what I needed to do to make money. I was really unhappy doing that. And like, if you went to my channel and saw like 10 videos about cosmetic procedures and makeup, like you're gonna think that that's what I care about and focus on in real life. But really, I'm looking at numbers and I'm saying, this is what is performing well. I have to reproduce that. So now that I have an option to really figure out what message is important, what is really going to help people, what do people need to hear? How can I share the mistakes I've made in my life and the things I've learned in my life? How can I use that to try and stop them from making mistakes I've made and prevent pain in their life that I've felt? It's not from showing my clothes or showing my house or talking about anything but the real stuff. So I tried the vlogging thing and it feels empty to me. I think you've already seen the change that Christ has made in my life, and that's a testimony to Christ. And I think that that's super helpful and super important. Now I want to talk about a lot of things. And like, I have a notes file. I don't know if you can see it, but like, I'm constantly writing down sit down video ideas. It just keeps on going. Like I said, I don't know if you can see it, but like big controversial things. I'm not going to turn down money, but that's not my motivation. My motivation is saying things that I wish someone would have told me. These are things I would say to my sister or my brother or my parents or anyone I loved and actually cared about. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to love you guys. I don't have it all figured out. Obviously, I make mistakes every day. I struggle every day. I'm fallible. I learn how to be more Christ-like every day. I'll never be perfect. All I can do is share things that have helped me and share things that have hurt me. And hopefully it can help you guys. So that's my little spiel. I literally can't even see the screen right now because it's so bright. I'm so unbelievably blessed. Every single day I thank God for Tim. It blows my mind that I could be with someone like him. And he has the same feeling towards me, which is, I think, the ideal. Like, you both want to look at each other like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I have you. I can't believe I found you. I can't believe God's given you to me. And yeah, we just knew, like, so early on that this was of God. And like, Tim's not a perfect person either. He's made mistakes in his life, and we've talked about those things. I'm well aware of his past and he's well aware of my past, and I would never want him to look at his past and go, oh, I've made mistakes in my past, might as well just keep making them. And he would never want me to do that either. If a person goes to jail for murder, they suffered in jail, were beat up, were away from their family, had to stay in a cell every single day, wasn't able to be free, and then they got out of jail. Would someone say to them, well, you already murdered, so you might as well just keep murdering, like you already ruined yourself? That person's going to say, no, I did something outside of God's will and I paid for it. It hurt me. It hurt my life. Jail was not fun. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to have those consequences again. I don't want to have that hurt again. I don't know why that's on my mind. I don't know who needed to hear that. Don't give up on yourself just because you've made mistakes in your life. We've all made mistakes in our lives. If everyone followed that train of thought, everyone would just not care. Everyone would just say, well, I'm not a perfect person, so might as well just make as many mistakes as I want, knowing that they're wrong, not try to be better. The world would be a mess. So I love you guys. I want to actually make videos that matter. And that's just some of them. So if you are interested in any of those topics, stick around. I hope that you want the truth. I hope that you want to stick around, because I think they're really, really important things that we need to be talking about. I'm going to go inside because I'm literally sweating my butt off, and I want to go get a nice breakfast with my husband. I love you guys. I'll see you later.